Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Forest River Flagstaff Epro 19TH toy hauler. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, your awning. Leave plenty of room for that to come in and out. And then on your off campsite, I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Yours are going to be just behind the front, before your tires, on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Plug into camp here, power here, camp water. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing you do is level your unit. You have a power tongue jack here, a night docking light. Simply retract to bring down, extend to raise. You do have the manual override underneath this rubber stopper, the hand crank that'll bring that up and down. And once we got our unit level, the next thing we're gonna do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these stabilizing jacks, 3/4 inch crank. Hook that up on there and crank these down. Now what I am going to do is recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, and hot blacktop in the summer. Better distribute the weight. Just a really good investment. Take and crank these down. Remember, you only want to bring these down until they're taut. Kind of hard to do one-handed here. We'll run these down real quick. So get your jack pads, lay them down, run these down just until they're taut. Once you have any type of resistance on your hand crank, go ahead and stop cranking, because remember, we've already got our unit level. All we want to do at this point is stabilize it. Get all four of those down. Once we're level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. On your off campsite, you got this big long 30-amp cord. Way to go on now is to go in to the left and then turn to the right to lock on, and take your washer, twist that up on there. Now at the end of this 30-amp service, should you need to plug in at home, there's a 30 to 110 adapter that comes in your convenience pack. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Use this when putting fluid up here. At campsites, we'll hook up the city water connect. Hook that up. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on. Let's go find your hot water heater. Over here on your campsite in the front is your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in there. Throw some plumber's tape on there, get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn on that hose. Once that hose has been on for a little while, go inside and open up your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines. Once you got a steady flow of water in there, you can go ahead and shut them off and turn on your hot water heater from indoors. There is an on-off electric element down here. It is actually taped to off. The only time you ever want to turn this on down here is if you're hooked up to 110. Otherwise, turn on your hot water heater indoors. If your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here and look at these bubbles. See if they're bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. They are reset. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to hook up to city water. We're going to go dry docking or boondocking. In that case, we'll simply fill up our fresh water or potable water tank. Just to the right of your city water connection is that spot. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply fill it up with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One is an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check the levels of your tanks your battery, there's also a fresh water button. Once that's full, remove your hose, put your cap back on, and then when you want to utilize this water, you have to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water. That's already pressurized, just for your potable water. All right, we're hooked up with power and water. We can camp now. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Starting on your off camp side, you got your big storage here. There's an extension for your jacket. You can take your foot off here and put a wheel on the front. So big storage area here. There's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. This outdoor shower, this hose here will quick connect onto there. Give you a big spray port hose. To the right of that, your docking station, we have your cable and satellite. City water connect, black tank flush, we'll talk about when leaving the campsite. And this is where you'll put your antifreeze in. Power, fresh water. This is the flue for your furnace. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It will get rather warm. Underneath there's your fresh water drain and a hose storage area for your sewage hose. These are vents and a drip for your fridge. It's a vent for your garage. You can push that out. That'll get rid of some fumes in there. Your rear stabilizing jacks. We'll open your deck up here shortly. Right there you have a Furan backup camera prep. It's a device you can purchase from our store that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, giving you a backup camera for the unit. Over here's your awning. Talk about your awning pitch control real quick. Say you're camping and your picnic table's down there and it starts to rain. Pull down, pitch adjust. That'll send all the rain this way. Another vent to push open from inside. So outdoor here, in your kit will be this table, this grill, this quick connect, as well as this other table. They'll clip onto this bar up here, and right down here is your LP quick connect. While I'm down there, there's your spare tire and release. I also have a couple of 110s here. Up here is the outdoor speaker, your porch light. Coming around the front here, this will hold your door open. Simply hook that right in here, even though that is a hinged door. Solar on the side. You're prepped for solar here. Plug in a solar panel and that'll trickle charge your batteries. Again, your hot water heater. Your propane does come with a cover and a regulator. Green means you've got gas. When it turns to red, your gas is out. Again, check your battery posts now and then. When you arrive, make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Down here underneath your propane tank is your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Another docking light. And that about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. So the first thing I like to point out when coming into any unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camped with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. There's all your hitch work getting ready to put on. And to your right, as soon as you come in, you can have your 110 with GFCI reset. Down here, an access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Looks like you got a variety there. I would highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. And your control panel. There's your brand new battery. Fresh, black, and gray tanks. There's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Your water heater if hooked up to gas, and your water heater if hooked up to electric. It makes a difference. Now if you're on 110, you'll turn that on out there and then turn this on here as well. Interior, porch and awning lights, and your awning. I want to finish running that out. You only want to run that out until your flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see your brown bar. Once you can see your bar, that's as far as you want to go. That will extend past that and roll itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out farther than it needs to be. Also, your door. Make sure your door is not all the way open, because it will actually hinder the awning from coming in over on this side, in or out. Make sure your door is clear of that before you run it out. Run that in real quick. Shut off your awning and porch lights, and we'll continue our tour. So they call these slam locks. They work best when slightly slammed. Coming into your kitchen, down here you have a self-explanatory microwave. Got an individual one-touch lighting in here. Back in the corner, a little pop-up power tower, we call it. 110s and USB ports. Push that red button in, it'll go back down. Your cooktop, this glass top actually makes a great backsplash. You will turn it to light, and you have to light these with a lighter, long stick lighter. Of course, make sure your gas is on. Now there's your inverter. Coming into the bathroom, you do have a manual, or not a manual, excuse me, a power hand crank. Excuse me, yeah, hand crank this open. And there's your power exhaust with 4 different levels. Shut it off there. Another 110 there, and your lighting's up here. In your hallway. So this is your GP Electric Go Power control panel for your solar panel. What this does is it controls the amount of power going to your solar panel. What it is going to do is keep it from overcharging your battery. I'm going to send you a separate video from GP Electric explaining everything, but the whole function of this is not to overcharge your battery. Turn on your furnace here. Shut your furnace off. Furnace, you'll notice, will take a few minutes to shut off compared to the AC. Because the AC, we can just crank this up right here. And then turn that off. There's your TV. Turn that on real quick. You have to run a digital channel scan when you get to where you're going. It is on the swivel. Pulls out away from the wall. Back here, where your cable goes in, there's a little green button here. When you arrive at the campsite, make sure that green button's on before you run your digital channel scan. What that is, it's a digital channel enhancer, and it will allow you to pick up more channels. A couple of USBs here. There's your Wi-Fi Power Ranger. What that does is it allows you to pick up the Wi-Fi at the back of the camp as if you were right next to it. Your stereo system here, we'll turn that on. It's on Bluetooth, it's on FM here. So crank that up. You got sound indoors.
It's morning edition from...
Shut it off indoors, now it's just outdoors. I'll shut that off.
Defense Department. Do with Indeed Instant Matching.
Bluetooth, AM, FM, auxiliary. Touch it for mute, hold it in for off. Here's the vents I was telling you about. Simply press out on that and they'll exhaust you. Your bed area here is clamped up. You simply remove these clamps. Same thing on both sides. Kind of difficult to do here with one hand. If I can get this camera to set over here, I'll see what I can show you. Lay it down, you'll see the legs come down. And then jackknife it up. Same thing on both sides, and you have a table that can sit up in the middle. Make sure you can see what I did there. And return it. Jackknife it back down. And then lift it up against the wall. And the legs automatically fold in. Strap it back in for travel. If you don't want to jackknife it, you can lay them both down and that becomes your bed. Over here on the wall, down here is your 12 volt propane carbon monoxide detector. Now the reason I mention that's 12 volt is always running off your battery. So if you are boondocking, you have nothing plugged in charging your battery, you're going to be gone for the day, use that battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. Storage all throughout here. Hand crank antenna all the way to the right while you travel. When you arrive, crank it up to the left. Push up and crank it up to the right, excuse me, left while you travel. Smoke alarm. Again, exhaust. And that about covers everything on the inside. Now you do have over your kitchen area a little hand crank vent. I'm gonna go show you how to open your garage real quick. Should be pretty self-explanatory, but unlock, lift up, and turn. Turn them right upside down. That'll get it out of your way. These become the legs. There's your ramp. If we flip this around, back up, turn and lock, turn and lock. So let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. Of course, we'll have all our grill stuff come in. I like to come here and shut off my interior lights, because then I can walk around and see any individual lighting I may have left on. It's all off. Doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. I just realized I did not talk about your Dometic fridge. In your fridge, turn this on here. Auto means when you run it, when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Or simply lift that up and it becomes gas. If that light comes on, your gas is low. Mainly want to keep it on auto. Doors and drawers, everything's secure, everything's tied down. Make sure all of our lighting's off, inside and out. These steps, you want to make sure that this exterior door is all the way open, otherwise these steps won't lift up and this will catch on it. So see, it's pretty close there. Lock that in there. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Lift and turn your handle. At this point, unplug your power, water, and cable, and bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Come around here and dump some low point drains. If you're boondocking, pull that one out. If you're at a campsite, right underneath this low point drain, right behind the lip here, dump those. Once that water's done, come back around to your hot water heater again. We are going to lift up on this pressure release valve. That'll dump all the remaining water out of your tank. Put that back down, otherwise your door won't close, and then you can pull your drain plug. Hook up your hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right toward the front on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull your gray handle. Or excuse me, your black handle. It's the right handle on the right. Once it sounds like that's no longer draining, leave that black handle open. Again, with your water pressure regulator, hook up the hose at the dump station to your black tank flush. Turn that hose on, again with your black handle open, and let that run for a good 5 minutes, at least. It's gonna wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, unhook your hose, close that back up, close your black handle, pull your gray handle. Your gray handle is gonna be cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. That's gonna clean your sewage hose out for you. And then, Flagstaff made it easy and gave you a nice sewage hose storage right underneath here. And head on home. Again, thank you for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Epro for many years to come. Happy camping.